Welcome to part 2 of our random Windows Phone dialing application. In our last video, we created a simple user face that you see in front of you with a button and a couple of text blocks. Now we're going to add some code behind to call a random number from our contacts list. So we're going to use this find button here. We're going to hit over here and get the event handlers and double click on click so that we've got our event handler. Now before we add some code, we want to make sure that we have all of the libraries, controls, objects that we need. So we're going to use a couple of other libraries here. Microsoft.phone.user data, so we can get the contacts list. And because we want to use the phone call task, we were going to use Microsoft phone tasks. All right, now we're ready to start some code here. So we're going to create contacts, basically an object that holds all of our contacts. Contacts. I seem to have trouble spelling that. Contacts. Let's call it cons equals new contacts. IntelliSense helps us nicely here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be creating an asynchronous search, so we need an event handler to check it when the search is done. Now we like to use asynchronous calls on phones so that other things can happen while we're working. So we're going to say cons dot search completed plus equals, and we're going to specify that we want a new event handler of contact search event args, and let's call it contacts search completed. All right, that's our event handler. And right now we've got the red squigglies on there because we haven't actually created that routine yet. We'll do that in just a minute. Right now we're going to call our search async routine. We're going to give it a couple of parameters. We're not going to filter it, so we're going to say string empty. String dot empty, and we're going to say filter kind dot none again, and then we're going to give the object state just some information about it. So we're going to say contacts test number 1. All right, now what we've got is we've added our event handler and we've started our search. Now we need to create the event handler itself. Void, and remember it's contacts search completed. And we need a couple of parameters. We need the object sender, and we need to create our event handler type, content search event arguments, call it E. Now we've got our routine here. Open and close it so we don't forget that. Now you notice that the red squigglies are gone from up here because the routine actually exists. All right, so we need to declare some variables. We need a contact. Let's call it C. And we'll give that some value in a minute. We need to find out how many contacts we have, because we're going to use that for our random number generator. A.results.count. That nicely returns how many items that we've got in our contact list. We could display that if we want, but we're not going to right now. We're going to have a variable called try_me, which we're going to use to pick randomly what item to pick. And of course we need a random number variable for generating a random number. Let's call it R. And let's get to work. Now what we want to do here is we want to make sure that we get a number that actually, or a contact that actually has a phone number. So we're going to do a little protection around this. We're going to put a do loop here. We're going to say try_me equals r.next. Again, something between 0 and count. This will pick a random variable, a very random content. Then we're going to put that into C, and we're going to get it from e.results.element at try_me. And then we're going to keep going. Well, c.phonenumbers.count is less than 1. Right? If phone numbers count is less than 1, then obviously there's no phone numbers, we can't display them. So let's just do that. And what am I doing wrong? Oh, sorry. Forgot to do the parentheses here. What did I do wrong there? And, okay, now we've got it. So let's display in text name.text. We're going to do c.displayName. And in text phone.text, we're going to display the first phone number. There could be multiple, but we'll just say c.phonenumbers.element at, we know there's a 0th one. Now what we're going to do is, oops, you know what, I always do this, I always forget to make that a string so that it'll show up properly in a text box. Alright, let's go here. Now let's create our task to do the phone number. So we're going to say phone call task tsk equals new phone call task, and we're going to assign the phone number task.phoneNumber to be equal to textphone.text, and then we're going to say task.show, just going to call the actual number. All right. Let's see how this works. I'll use the 7.1 emulator. And whoops, you know what? We forgot to do this. New random. That was the problem there. Now it should run much better. The little typos will get to you every time. Alright, deploying the application should be showing up here on the emulator in just a minute. And as you can see, it comes up, displays the box any second now. There we go. Takes a little bit longer the first time that we upload it to the emulator. There we go. We push fine. and it's doing the search, gathering all. It's showing the name. You can see it there faintly, and we can either call it or don't call. We're going to not call, but there is an emulator in here that it would try and do an actual telephone call. And of course on an actual phone it would do it. And we can hit this again and it'll pick somebody else. We can call them or not. Let's just end that, and that's our demo for today. Thank you for sticking with us.